Now that is how you make a comedy movie. Spy is directed by Paul Feig and stars Melissa McCarthy. Now this director has made movies such as The Heat and Bridesmaid, two great comedy movies, and all have Melissa McCarthy in it. And in this movie, she plays one of these people who helps out agents during missions. The agent has their speaker and she has to help them out. And that agent is played by Jude Law. So Melissa McCarthy has been in the agency for a while, so she wants to be in a mission, so she becomes a spy, beating up bad guys. So she eventually gets that wish, and now she has a new identity, and her mission is to stop the villain, played by Rose Byrne. Now, as you know, McCarthy has been in certain films which made the audience scratch their heads. For example, last year we have Tammy, awful movie. And now this one has came out. First you saw the trailer and you're like, yeah, sure. This movie is gonna be pretty stupid. I mean, look at that disguise. How am I supposed to take that seriously? I sort of felt the same way. So I went and saw this movie and I don't know. It seems like this movie is some sort of miracle. Now, as you know, this year's comedy movies have been kind of a bummer. Mordecai, Hot Top Time Machine 2, Unfinished Business, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, Hot Pursuit, also another action comedy. Then we got Entourage, which is a great comedy, but it's nothing original. It's just based on a great TV show. Then along come this one, and wow, I actually had a really fun time. I was expecting something meh, nothing special, but no, this is a really fun action film. Well, this is filmed by the same man who made two well-made comedies. Now, the style in some parts of the film has some James Bond inspiration in it. A couple examples could be the opening credits to this movie. Now, you know one of those James Bond opening credits where you see women with guns jumping, doing whatever, or see two men fighting in the shadows? Now, this is the exact same style they did in Spy. Another example is when Melissa McCarthy is introduced to her gadget, and in the background you see a whole bunch of people trying out new gadgets for future missions. And in the James Bond films, we have just like that with James Bond and Q. Now, I have heard that Paul Feig had a dream of making a James Bond film, and you could tell with the style and motivations from the James Bond film presented here in Spy. Now, aside from the comedy in this movie, there are other things in this film like the action, which is really glowingly amazing. There was a scene where Melissa McCarthy fights this woman in a kitchen using knives and pots and pans, and it was orchestrated well. For a comedy film, this is a pretty violent film. Not really as violent as Kingsman, but still pretty violent. Now, Melissa McCarthy, you suspect her to play the same old in her comedies. The rude one, always been joked about her weight. Now, this is in this film as well, but it feels like she's playing a different character. I didn't feel like I was seeing her act on screen. I felt like we were seeing a different character trying to complete this mission. The movie could have made her the one who just screws around, wastes time, not getting anywhere. But no, she's there, she's vigilant, get the job done, and kicks ass in the film. Now, when her and Rose Byrne finally meet in the film, it starts to get pretty good. And there was some funny lines that is said between the two. Jason Statham plays an over-the-top spy who is really confident in this film. My favorite character. There was this one scene where he has this monologue with McCarthy for all the missions that he did and how he survived them. Pretty much every line that he says is mad funny. Jude Law, he did really great. There is this woman who helps McCarthy in the mission. She was pretty funny. Everyone did a great shining job in this movie. This movie has really helped McCarthy on what she can do when she's in movies. In Tammy, we didn't know what the hell she was doing. The plot was a mess. Then she's about to rob a store, dancing in the parking lot with no music in the background, and it wasn't funny. Here is like she is turned around and proved that she can do more than just the same old. So I'll say check this one out and you should have a fun time. This, however, isn't your perfect spy comedy. There were some cliches in the film, and you got a couple of things that were pretty much predictable. But regardless, this is a pretty fun and hilarious film you're going to enjoy. I'm gonna give Spy 8 silent pistols out of 10. As much as this film is great, I still think that Kingsman did it just a little right as a spy film, but both are great. So, that is my review of Spy. Thank you for watching. More reviews on the way.
Let's go, let's go.